welcome to Kashmir Now. I'm your host, Shivangi Mishra. Let's take a look at what made news this week. Awami Action Committee calls for a shutter-down strike in Gilgit-Baltistan. A POK activist calls for a government in exile. Women in POK and Gilgit-Baltistan support the movement. Gulmarg receives a fresh snowfall. Tourists rejoice the winter beauty in Jammu and Kashmir. The Government of India empowers local panchayats for development of the far-flung border districts in Jammu and Kashmir. And in our special section of Incredible India, we talk about India's ancient wellness exercise yoga and how it became the most accepted way to improve mental and physical wellness across the globe. The demonstrations against inflation and high wheat prices are going stronger across the illegally occupied territory of Gilgit-Baltistan. The residents of Gilgit-Baltistan, apart from wheat subsidy, inflation and host of other issues, also demand medical allowances that they say Pakistan is providing to all its provinces, but the illegally occupied territory of Gilgit-Baltistan and POK have been kept deprived of. After carrying out transport wheel jam across 10 districts of the region, the Awami Action Committee and residents of Gilgit-Baltistan have called for a complete shutdown strike in the coming days. We have a report.
The protests in Gilgit-Baltistan have become intense. People are demonstrating against inflation and the elimination of the wheat subsidy. Defying frigid weather, protesters are marching and turning up the heat on the administration. On the call of the political and social group Awami Action Committee, protests against the increase in wheat prices and inflation are going on in different districts of Gilgit-Baltistan. Earlier, the Awami Action Committee announced a transport wheel jam in 10 districts across Gilgit-Baltistan. Stores, marketplaces and eateries were closed in several locations, including the prominent districts of Skardu, Diamar, Gizar, Astor and Hunza. The Awami Action Committee has called for a complete shutdown strike until their demands are met by the Gilgit-Baltistan government.
अवामी एक्शन कमेटी गिलगित बल्तिस्तान ने कल 26 जनवरी और 27 जनवरी को मुकम्मल पूरे गिलगित बल्तिस्तान के 10 अजला के अंदर और गिलगित बल्तिस्तान से इस्लामाबाद, रावलपिंडी और दीगर शहरों के लिए जाने वाले वो तमाम ट्रांसपोर्ट का भी पहिया जाम का ऐलान किया है और इसका बाकायदा ऐलान जो है ट्रांसपोर्ट यूनियन से यहाँ पे आके हमारे साथ इजहार यकजहती में किया है और मुकम्मल शटर डाउन हड़ताल होगा पूरे गिलगित बल्तिस्तान के अंदर जब तक हमारे मुतालिबात हल नहीं होते, अवामी मसाइल को हल नहीं करती हुकूमत गिलगित बल्तिस्तान.
People from all walks of life are supporting the public cause in Gilgit-Baltistan. The residents are up against the ruthless administration. Along with several other demands, the people of Gilgit-Baltistan also demand the medical allowance they are entitled to receive from the government. The residents complain the administration has not allocated medical funds for Gilgit-Baltistan and POK regions, although Pakistan has been providing medical funds to all its provinces. The cut in medical allowances has further aggravated the problems for the residents.
इन्होंने हमें मजबूर किया कि हम सख्त कदम उठाएं. अब सख्त कदम जो होगा वो गंदम और रेवेन्यू अथॉरिटी पे नहीं रुकेगा. कश्मीर और गिलगित बल्तिस्तान का स्टेटस सेम है. जो मेडिकल अलाउंस है, जो उसमें हर शिनाख्ती कार्ड में इन्होंने हॉस्पिटल्स में जो ट्रीटमेंट के लिए फंड रखा था वो वफाक ने खत्म किया. वफाक ने खत्म करने के बाद तमाम सूबे वो फंड दे रहे हैं, अपने अपने शहरियों को दे रहे हैं. कश्मीर और गिलगित बल्तिस्तान तो कोई सूबा है नहीं, ये तो डायरेक्ट वफाक के अंडर है. ये वफाक की जिम्मेदारी है कि सूबे अपने शहरियों को, पाकिस्तान के तमाम सूबे अपने शहरियों को जो मराहत देते हैं, वो मराहत वफाक कश्मीर और गिलगित बल्तिस्तान को देने का पाबंद है। किस खाते में इन्होंने मेडिकल अलाउंस को काटा है?
It has been over 7 decades since the locals have endured Pakistan's injustice and draconian policies. The public anger against the stooge administration in Gilgit-Baltistan has reached the tipping point. The resolute public in the illegally occupied regions seem to go any length to get their rights and demands fulfilled.
As protests against Pakistan are raging across Gilgit-Baltistan and POK, Amjad Ayub Mirza, a staunch supporter of human rights for the people of the two illegally occupied territories, has given a clarion call to form a government in exile. Hundreds of women too have joined the movement in response to the POK activists' call. A woman on condition of anonymity has revealed her allegiance with the Mirza's call for forming a government in exile and boycott of Kashmir Solidarity Day. We have a report.
The demand for a government in exile is echoing in the illegally occupied territories of Gilgit-Baltistan and POK. Protests are raging against Islamabad and its proxy administrations in the two illegally occupied regions. An exiled POK activist, Amjad Ayub Mirza, frustrated with the state of affairs in Gilgit-Baltistan and POK, has given a clarion call to form a government in exile.
The support for the government in exile of POJK and Gilgit-Baltistan is increasing by leaps and bounds. Hundreds of women have announced that they will support this government. Several youths working in the Middle East and in Europe have announced. Several political parties of the diaspora are in touch with us, and they want to participate in this historic event.
The residents, trader unions and women too are supporting the movement and registered their allegiance with Amjad Ayub Mirza's call. A woman on condition of anonymity revealed that the people in the illegally occupied territories have had enough of Islamabad's atrocities and they fully resonate with the activists' call for a government in exile.
मैं डॉक्टर अमजद अयूब मिर्ज़ा की जो 5 फरवरी को जो जिला वतन हुकूमत है उसकी मैं हिमायत करती हूं और मेरे साथ सैकड़ों ख़वातीन हैं जो उनके के लिए आज़ादी की जंग लड़ने के लिए उनके साथ शाना बशाना खड़ी हैं.
The locals in Gilgit-Baltistan and POK are holding protests against inflation, high wheat prices, inflated electricity bills and many other issues. They have refused to observe Kashmir Solidarity Day on February 5 and warn the administration against further protests if their demands are not met. The power corridors in the two illegally occupied territories have shown no sympathy to the swarm of protesters demanding their rights even after 8 months of continuous protests.
The people of POJK have refused to observe Kashmir Solidarity Day because they don't see any reason for issuing any solidarity. Who needs solidarity is us, the people of POJK and Gilgit-Baltistan. And therefore, the formation of the government in exile and the announcement on the 5th of February is going to be a groundbreaking event. And we look forward to that as hundreds of people are supporting us now. And it will increase.
Over 70 years of barbarism and perpetual violations of their human rights have agonized the residents. They are supporting the formation of government in exile and resolved to protest against Islamabad and its stooge administrations for more months.
Moving on. After a dry spell for over 2 months, one of the top tourist destinations in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, Gulmarg has turned to a winter wonderland for tourists. With a fresh snowfall draping the cup-shaped valley, tourists from all across the country and the globe are reaching Gulmarg to experience the winter beauty. The fresh snowfall has ensued a fresh enthusiasm among the locals also, who are now witnessing a surge in their income from tourism businesses. Take a look.
Gulmarg, renowned for its breathtaking landscapes and mesmerizing snowfall, has transformed into a winter wonderland these days. Tourists from all across the globe and the country are coming to Gulmarg to experience the fresh snowfall in the valley. After a dry spell of around 2 months, Gulmarg is again seen draped in white snow, bringing cheers to thousands of visitors coming from different parts of the country.
बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है, भगवान का लाख लाख शुक्रिया अदा कर रहे हैं। और जब हम लोग लैंड हुए थे तो बिल्कुल स्नो नहीं था, तो हम लोग प्रे करते हुए सोए कि सुबह उठे और हमको स्नोफॉल मिले, और वाकई में ऐसे हुआ। हम लोग सो करके उठे हैं और स्नोफॉल मिला। इतनी खुशी हुई है, बता नहीं सकते हैं। और जिन लोगों ने हमारे लिए प्रे की है उन सब के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
तो कितना ब्यूटीफुल इस वक्त गुलमर्ग दिखाई दे रहा है,
बहुत ब्यूटीफुल लग रहा है। यहाँ से जाने का हमारा मन नहीं कर रहा है। हम लोग 3 फ्रेंड्स आए हैं गुलमर्ग घूमने के लिए, बिल्कुल यहाँ से जाने का मन नहीं कर रहा है। जन्नत है, जन्नत।
Many visitors were enjoying rides on sledges, trying their hands on skiing and making the most out of their first visit to Gulmarg. The snow-laden trees and landscapes added to the charm of Gulmarg and created a picturesque scene to behold for a lifetime.
I'm very excited. Gulmarg, Kashmir is my first time, my first day. So inshallah, I will be with my family in maybe next year. Yeah, everybody please come to Kashmir. It's a nice place, like Switzerland. I already went to Switzerland one time. Feel like Switzerland.
The fresh snowfall in Gulmarg has brought joy to local businesses also, who are now making a good seasonal income with the rising tourist footfall. Every year, a large influx of tourists come to the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir to experience the beauty of Gulmarg during winter season. For the locals, it is a great opportunity to promote their businesses and add to the tourism revenue for the Union Territory.
देखिए पिछले कुछ महीने से यहाँ पे बर्फ़ नहीं हो रही थी, जो कि हमारे लिए मायूसी का कारण था। लेकिन अगर आप देखें पिछले कल से यहाँ पे फिर से वो मुस्कान वापस आई है, जिसके लिए हम बहुत देर से वेट कर रहे हैं। चाहे स्लेज वाला हो, चाहे स्कीइंग वाला हो, बहुत ज़्यादा खुश दिख रहे हैं, जो कि अच्छी बात है। डेफिनेटली देखिए, अगर आपने देखा होगा ये जो बर्फ़ है यहाँ पे बिल्कुल सफ़ेद चादर जैसी नज़र आ रही है, जो कि एक अच्छी बात है हर एक के लिए। यहाँ जो अगर आप लोकल टंगमर की बात करें, इनका जो भी इनकम है वो इसी से बेस्ड है। तो हमारे लिए खुशी की बात है, लोकल के लिए भी, टूरिस्ट के लिए भी।
The fresh snowfall has not only provided a visual spectacle for the visitors, but also ensued a new vigor and enthusiasm among the locals. The local economy too has received a boost, and businesses catering to the tourism industry are hopeful of increased tourist footfall in the coming days.
The development of the far-flung border districts of Jammu and Kashmir has remained a chief priority of the government. To improve the quality of life and infrastructure for the residents in the remote Manjakot block of Rajouri district, the government has empowered local panchayats and involving them in every decision pertaining to the development. Recently, several villages in the block received pakka houses, uninterrupted water supply, electricity and many other basic facilities for their growth. Let's take a look. The Government of India is taking several initiatives to improve the quality of life for the people living in far-flung border districts of Jammu and Kashmir. In its endeavour to build infrastructure in border villages and provide basic facilities such as electricity, regular water supply and houses in Rajouri district, the government has empowered village panchayats for their development drive.
सच बताऊं, इससे पहले पंचायत में इतना काम नहीं हो रहा था जितना काम इस बार की सरकार में हुआ और सरपंच की पावर से हुआ। इसमें मतलब पहले मैं आपको बताऊं, पंचायत में 2-3 लाख रुपए मिलते थे या 4 लाख मिलते थे 14 एफसी के, तो 14 एफसी 2-3 लाख रुपया कुछ नहीं होता था। जब से ये टेंडर की पॉलिसी बनी, टेंडर मतलब पड़ने लगे, इसमें ऐसा हुआ कि ग्राउंड लेवल पे जो है वो काम हुआ है। 3 लाख का जो प्लान है, 3 लाख का हमारा काम जो है, इंशाल्लाह आप ग्राउंड लेवल पे आप देख लें, हमारा बहुत अच्छा काम हुआ है। इसमें हमारे जितने भी हमने काम रखे वो इंशाल्लाह हुए।
The locals praised the efforts of the government and testified that the development of their locality is happening at a tremendous pace. Under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana and Jal Jeevan Mission, the locals are receiving pakka houses and regular drinking water supply. The locals are now relieved from the problems they were facing earlier. Their trust in the panchayat system has grown, and they are also coming forward to help the government in the rural development process.
इसमें पहले बहुत परेशानी थी, हमें कच्चा मकान होता था, उसमें धूम बढ़ जाता था, बहुत ज़बरदस्त थी, अखियों का नील बग जाता था। और आज बहुत अच्छा काम हो चल रहा है और निगरां का काम भी चल रहा है, यूं भी काम सड़कों का भी ये छोटा मोटा काम बहुत अच्छा चल रहा है। मकानों का काम भी किस्त इन्होंने डाली है, पहली किस्त डाल रहे हैं और काम चल रहा है, बहुत अच्छा काम चल रहा है। लेकिन पोल ट्रांसफार्मर भी लगाए हैं और कम से कम 5-10 पोलों की ज़रूरत है, बाकी और काम हमारा हो चुका है।
Earlier, the residents in the Manjakot block of Rajouri district had a belief that the panchayat system has been formed just for the namesake. But since the government has started releasing direct funds to the panchayats and directed various departments to work in tandem with the village panchayats, the local feel they are empowered and assured for their growth.
पहले तो पंचायत होती थी, लेकिन वो सिर्फ नाम की पंचायत होती थी। आज बहुत अल्लाह का शुक्र है कि हमें हर चीज़ मिल रही है, जिस भी चीज़ की हम एक ज़रा भी डिमांड करेंगे वो हमारे तक पहुंच जाती है। बहुत अच्छा रहता है सर, डिपार्टमेंट का भी बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया अदा करते हैं कि उन्होंने भी हर तरफ से हमारी बहुत हेल्प की है, क्योंकि सड़क देने में हर चीज़ में बहुत अच्छी तरह से, लाइट की तरफ के डिपार्टमेंट उन्होंने भी बहुत अच्छा सलूक रखा हमारे साथ, बहुत अच्छी तरह से तार वायर ये ट्रांसफार्मर वगैरह अदा किए गए हैं।
Although it was a tough task to bring development to these border villages in hilly terrains, the government and the village panchayats took the onus and completed the task. There are many more projects in the pipeline to bring development and growth to every inch of the union territory. Yoga, an ancient health and wellness practice of India, is renowned for its ability to strengthen human mind and body. The exercise is now captivating the world as the United Nations too has accepted yoga to be the most powerful activity to achieve both mental and physical wellness. Let's take a look at the origins of yoga and how India's ancient practice is improving the health and mental wellness of millions of people around the globe. In India, yoga is more than just physical postures on a mat. It's a deeply ingrained cultural and spiritual practice interwoven with the country's history and identity. Yoga is an efficient art of calming the mind. Regular practice of yoga asanas is very helpful in enhancing the quality of life. Moreover, yoga beyond physical fitness also aims for self-realization, liberation from suffering and union with the divine. The origin of yoga can be traced back to Indian texts and scriptures like the Vedas and the Upanishads, dating back to some 5,000 years ago. With changing times, increasing awareness about health and achieving peace of mind, yoga is proving to be a boon for the whole world. As every year, many enthusiasts come to India from around the globe to learn, understand and include yoga in their daily routine. The International Yoga Day has also acted as a catalyst and has interconnected the yoga community across the globe.
पूरा विश्व योगमय हो गया है। जहां देखो हर कोने में योग हो गया है, हर घर में योग हो गया है, हर घाट में योग हो गया है, हर घाट पे योग है और अब तो हर हाट में भी योग होने लगा है। बाजारों में भी योग की इतना मांग हो गई है और अब तो बड़े बड़े कॉरपोरेट्स भी अगर जीवन में बैलेंस लाना है तो योग और ध्यान की बात करने लगे हैं। आप देखिए ना, हमारे इंटरनेशनल योग फेस्टिवल में 100 देशों से ज्यादा लोग होते हैं। इसका मतलब सभी धर्म, सभी देशों में जब आएंगे तो धर्म भी सारे आते हैं, लेकिन वो यहां आकर अपने अपने धर्म का पालन करते हुए लेकिन योगमय बन जाते हैं।
There are many yoga centers across the country where the number of foreigners has been increasing over the last few years, which also showcases how popular yoga has become in recent times. The calm and serene environment of Uttarakhand's Rishikesh attracts foreigners the most. The serene banks of the sacred Ganga river and the mountains here further increase the pleasure of doing yoga. These yoga centers are run by saints and sages who have been propagating the traditional form of yoga.
तो पूरा विश्व भारत की ओर देखते हैं for the truth, for that touch, for that transformation, for the real traditional yoga. So the yoga gurus of India are actually the ones जिसको सब देख रहे हैं कि actually what is the truth, what is the depth, what is the reality. लेकिन योग एक gift है भारत माता से. Yoga is a gift of India. It is a gift of the sages and the saints and the yogis जो यहाँ पे हिमालय में बैठ के अपना ध्यान करते हुए, अपना योग करते हुए channeled these teachings for the world.
And India is, of course, to thank for this. You know, without India and without this beautiful tradition that has been preserved for thousands of years, we would not have the gift of this universal system of self-discovery, this universal system of connecting us to ourselves, to each other, and to the divine.
Yoga comprises various schools and techniques, each with its unique philosophy and goals. Some of the popular styles of yoga include Hatha, Raj, Bhakti and Jnana Yoga. One of the uniqueness of yoga is that it still upholds the traditional teacher-student relationships with students seeking guidance and wisdom from gurus.
This place is so powerful that it's just transformed my life, and I'm very grateful that this ashram accepts foreigners and women as students.
The United Nations General Assembly made history on December 11, 2014 when it adopted a proposal from 175 countries to declare International Yoga Day on the 21st of June. Ever since then, it has been celebrated with great enthusiasm in and around the world. On the 9th International Yoga Day in the year 2023, Prime Minister Narendra Modi led a yoga session at the UN headquarters where a large number of people participated. Organized on the theme of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, representatives from 135 countries participated in the grand event which also was registered in the Guinness World Records. Yoga has got a new direction due to such efforts of the Government of India. While the whole world is getting familiarized with the culture of India through yoga, the business of yoga is also booming owing to its popularity in the country. Driven by the huge popularity of yoga, many new yoga centers are being established in the country, leading to the high demand for yoga teachers, which is also going to be beneficial for the economic growth of the nation. That's all we have for you in this week's episode. Goodbye and take care.
डीडी कशिर एहसास कश्मीर।